Hello, visionary souls and seekers of truth. Welcome to the sanctuary of profound knowledge, seeds of Akasha. Prepare yourselves for a journey that transcends time and space, delving into the deepest mysteries of existence. Today, we're going to unlock an enigma that has whispered secrets for millennia. The legendary Emerald Tablet. The ancient enigma. The Emerald Tablet, enduring mystery. Imagine this, a text veiled by the sands of ancient Egypt. So ancient, so incredibly potent, that it has shaped the minds of alchemists and philosophers across countless epochs. This is the Emerald Tablet, a seemingly small inscription that many believe holds the universal code to understanding, and perhaps even mastering, the very fabric of reality. But where did this unparalleled ancient wisdom truly come from? Why does its cryptic message continue to captivate us so profoundly even today? And, most importantly, what is its profound relevance for you, right here, right now, in your modern life? Our extraordinary adventure begins in the very cradle of civilization. Ancient Egypt, a land where magic, religion, and scientific understanding were not separate disciplines, but interwoven threads of a single tapestry of knowledge. The Emerald Tablet is far from being a mere dusty relic. It stands as the foundational pillar of the Hermetic tradition, a powerful current of esoteric knowledge. This tradition seamlessly blends Egyptian, Greek, early Christian, and even Islamic thought into a singular, comprehensive system of spiritual understanding and practice. This profound wisdom is traditionally attributed to a figure almost beyond human comprehension, Hermes Trismegistus, often revered as the thrice greatest. But who was this extraordinary master? For centuries, scholars and mystics alike have debated his true identity. Was he a historical individual like great Egyptian priest or a revered sage? Or, as many believe, is Hermes Trismegistus a symbolic amalgamation of powerful deities? Perhaps the Egyptian god Thoth, the divine scribe and patron of wisdom, merged with the Greek god Hermes, the divine messenger and master of hidden secrets. This powerful archetype represents a master who effortlessly traverses between worlds, possessing unparalleled access to both the divine celestial realms and the intricate earthly planes. The earliest surviving written reference to the Emerald Tablet emerges from an Arabic text, Kitab Sur, dating back to somewhere between the 6th and 8th centuries CE. Many of us deeply believe that the profound wisdom contained within the tablet is far, far older, possibly predating recorded history as we know it. Some even whisper of its origins from a lost, highly advanced civilization, such as the mythical Atlantis, or suggest that its teachings were carefully passed down orally through secret priestly castes in ancient Egypt before finally being codified into written form. Does this resonate with you? Have you ever felt a deep connection to knowledge that seems to stem from an origin far more ancient than our current timeline? If so, share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your personal experiences with these timeless mysteries. The coded wisdom, as above, so below. One of the earliest and most influential figures to delve deeply into the Emerald Tablet's content was the renowned Arab alchemist, Jabir ibn, known in the Western world as Geber. His extensive writings echoed across generations, profoundly shaping the understanding and practices of mystics and alchemists throughout both the Islamic world and Europe. The very origin story of the tablet perfectly reflects the enigmatic nature of Hermetic knowledge itself. It is veiled, deeply mysterious, and wonderfully timeless. It seems to emerge wherever humanity strives to comprehend the most profound secrets of existence, transcending specific cultures or religions. The tablet is much more than just an ancient text. It is truly a key, a profound revelation that swings open the doors between the visible mundane world and the invisible spiritual realms. And, while the physical original tablet, if it ever truly existed in a tangible form, has never been definitively found, its potent essence has endured, carefully transmitted from hand to hand, from heart to heart, across countless generations of dedicated seekers. But what precisely does this legendary Emerald Tablet actually tell us? Despite its monumental mythical weight, it is surprisingly brief, with some versions containing as few as 13 lines. Yet, within these few concise phrases, an infinite ocean of meaning is encapsulated. The most iconic of all, a phrase repeated countless times by mystics, philosophers, and alchemists throughout history, boldly declares, "That which is below is as that which is above, and that which is above is as that which is below." This fundamental truth is the law of correspondence, one of the absolute cornerstones of Hermetic thought. It reveals to us that everything in the universe is intricately interconnected, The macro and the microcosm are perfect mirrors of each other. To truly understand the mysteries of the stars and galaxies, one must look deep within oneself. And to fully comprehend oneself, one must gaze outward into the cosmos. Take a moment to ponder this. How does this profound idea of as above so below resonate with the challenges and opportunities we face in our world today? Can you perceive reflections of the above and the below of our modern society, its patterns, its struggles, its potential for ever? Please share your unique insights and reflections in the comments below. We're genuinely eager to hear your perspectives. The tablet extends its wisdom even further, speaking of a single thing, a divine, primordial source from which all other existence emanates. It's a deeply spiritual blueprint, meticulously describing the cosmic process by which spirit descends into matter, and conversely, how matter can ultimately return to spirit. It's a magnificent cosmic dance of manifestation and reintegration, a timeless teaching about the eternal, harmonious balance between all apparent opposite. Alchemy, the great work of the soul. For the literal-minded alchemists of old, the tablet seemed to offer a direct recipe for transmuting base lead into pure gold. But for the true initiates, the inner circle, this physical transformation was always understood as a profound metaphor. The real gold they sought was not a gleaming metal for earthly coffers, but the invaluable spiritual gold of the awakened soul. The true labor, the magnum opus, was the great work itself, the arduous yet ultimately rewarding process of purifying and elevating human consciousness. Phrases embedded within the tablet, such as its strength is complete if it is turned into earth, speak not of material power alone, but of an immeasurable spiritual might. The tablet promises profound illumination to those who are truly able to decipher its layers of meaning, not through blind faith, but through disciplined study, deep meditation, and genuine inner transformation. The language of the tablet is purposefully poetic, symbolic, and deeply it resists superficial interpretation precisely because it was never intended to be grasped solely by the rational mind. It demands to be lived, meditated upon, and fully integrated into one's being. It serves as a guiding map for spiritual initiation, a sacred blueprint for the soul that yearns to return to its divine origin. This is precisely why the Emerald Tablet continues to call out to us across the millennia. Its ancient words have echoed through the silent halls of monasteries, permeated the smoky air of alchemical laboratories, resonated within hidden occult temples, and now, remarkably, they whisper to you through the digital screens of our modern age. They convey the same eternal message, that the universe is vibrantly alive, that we are an inseparable part of its grand design, and that the power to profoundly transform our lives and our very reality lies hidden, waiting to be discovered deep within ourselves. As the ancient wisdom of the Emerald Tablet began to spread its influence across both the Eastern and Western worlds, it quickly captivated a very particular kind of individual, the alchemists. To the outside world, alchemy often appeared to be a primitive, almost magical pursuit focused solely on converting base metals like lead into precious gold. But for the true initiate, the physical transformation was always understood as a profound, symbolic process. The gold they tirelessly sought was not the glittering metal destined for earthly coffers or royal crowns, but rather the invaluable spiritual gold residing deep within the core of their own being. The awakened, the Emerald Tablet thus became a guiding light for these tireless seekers. These were men and women who didn't merely conduct experiments in stone chambers illuminated by flickering candlelight. They were simultaneously exploring the hidden, often uncharted, corners of human consciousness. They firmly believed that by understanding the intricate laws of nature, they could come to understand the very nature of God. That by refining crude matter, they could, in parallel, refine and purify the human soul. This was the essence of true alchemy, a sacred science that seamlessly fused the visible and the invisible, the external and the internal. During the glorious golden age of Islam, revered scholars like Jabir ibn Hayyan held the Emerald Tablet in the highest esteem, considering it a foundational pillar of alchemical knowledge. Jabir's extensive writings profoundly influenced the medieval alchemists of Europe, including monumental figures such as Roger Bacon, Albertus Magnus, Paracelsus, and, perhaps most surprisingly, Isaac Newton. Yes, even Newton, the very man who formulated the law of gravity and laid the bedrock for modern physics, was deeply, almost obsessively, fascinated by the Emerald Tablet. He meticulously translated the text from Latin and secretly immersed himself in alchemical writings, utterly convinced that the wisdom of the ancients held crucial keys that modern science had yet to uncover. For Newton, as for countless others, the tablet was not a whimsical fantasy. It was a potent, symbolic representation of fundamental universal laws. These dedicated alchemists devoted their entire lives to the elusive pursuit of what they termed the philosophers. Stone, a mythical substance believed to grant immortality and transform any base metal into gold. Yet, beyond this literal interpretation, this legendary stone represented something infinitely more profound: the perfection of the soul. The stones symbolized the fully realized being, the purified self, one who had achieved profound union with the divine after traversing trials, making sacrifices, and undergoing a deep, inner transformation. In their sacred writings, the alchemists described their intricate processes using deliberately cryptic language: dissolution, coagulation, fermentation, distillation, sublimation. Each step represented not only a specific chemical operation, but also a parallel psychological and spiritual stage. The fire that burned away impurities was not merely kindled in the furnace, it was also ignited within the heart. It was the transformative fire of suffering, of surrendering the ego, of the soul's profound awakening. The putrefaction, known as the negredo, was the necessary descent into inner chaos, before the ultimate discovery of light. The Emerald Tablet offered the spiritual map for this arduous journey. Its teachings were not laid out as technical instructions, but as timeless, archetypal truths. It revealed to the alchemists that to truly ascend, one must first descend, that death was merely the threshold to resurrection, that the eternal essence lies hidden within the material. These profound ideas resonated repeatedly throughout alchemical texts, not only in the West but also in the East, finding parallels in the inner alchemy of Chinese Taoism and the tantric spiritual sciences of India. The mirror of the soul, the tablet's eternal message for centuries. These sacred teachings were zealously guarded, carefully encoded within myths, allegories, and intricate symbols. This was not due to elitism, but because their true power could only be fully activated through direct, personal experience. The alchemists knew that one could not simply read the Emerald Tablet and comprehend it intellectually. It had to be lived, its truths experienced, and the inner fire of transformation had to be consciously traversed. The spiritual gold that was sought had to be truly earned. This is precisely why the Emerald Tablet continues to inspire not only scientists and mystics, but also poets, artists, and philosophers across generations. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, for instance, saw in alchemy a profound mirror of the human soul. He believed that the ancient alchemists, in describing their elaborate processes with intricate symbols and metaphors, were, perhaps unknowingly, mapping the deep, complex movements of the human unconscious. For Jung, the great work of alchemy directly corresponded to the psychological process of individuation, that profound and transformative path in which the human being confronts their shadow, from the murky darkness of lead to the radiant splendor of gold, from the confusion of the ego to the luminous clarity of the soul. The alchemists walked their path, guided by the silent, profound light of the Emerald Tablet. And even today, that light continues to shine, whispering to all who are ready to embark on their own unique great work, that the true laboratory lies within, that the real fire is that of the spirit, and that the ultimate transmutation is that of the soul awakening and remembering its divine nature. Because, in the end, the tablet is not just an ancient text. It is a call, an initiation, a promise that within the deepest darkness lies the seed of the purest light, and whoever dares to seek it with sincerity will surely find it not in the fleeting metals of the world, but in the eternal truth of being. For many, the Emerald Tablet might seem like merely a cryptic poem, a few archaic lines filled with bewildering metaphors. But for those who dare to look beyond the surface, it reveals a hidden structure, a spiritual code that speaks not just to the mind, but profoundly to the soul. It is not a text designed for quick intellectual understanding, but rather to be contemplated slowly, like a mystical mirror in which each reflection unveils a new, deeper dimension of reality. The more one meditates on its words, the more layers of profound meaning begin to reveal themselves. At the heart of these interpretations lies the profound belief that the tablet was never intended to be read solely with the physical eyes, but with the spiritual eye, with the very spirit itself. Every line, every symbol, acts as a potent key, pointing beyond itself towards deep metaphysical truths that simply cannot be captured by ordinary words. just as the alchemists saw in the transformation of metals a potent metaphor for inner transformation, so do mystics and spiritual seekers see in the emerald tablet a profound, symbolic map of the soul's journey. When the tablet declares, "That which is below is as that which is above, and that which is above is as that which is below," it is not merely making a statement about the cosmos. It is describing the very essence of existence itself. It tells us that the universal laws that govern the distant stars are precisely the same laws that govern the human heart, that the intricate structures we observe in distant galaxies are perfectly replicated in the subtle patterns of our own thoughts. This is the law of correspondence, and it constitutes one of the fundamental pillars of Hermetic thought, a principle that echoes across countless spiritual traditions. This profound law teaches us that everything is intricately interconnected, that the universe is not a collection of separate, fragmented parts, but a living, conscious organism where every single level perfectly reflects all others. In this profound way, the tablet speaks to us of a unified cosmos, a sacred reality where spirit and matter, light and darkness, heaven and earth, are not separate entities but are beautifully, harmoniously intertwined. The dualities that we often perceive, good and evil, masculine and feminine, above and below, are not opposing enemies but complementary aspects of a single, divine source. This understanding forms the very root of many spiritual traditions, from the harmonious yin and yang of Taoism to the profound non-duality of Hindu Vedanta. The tablet also makes mention of a mysterious entity, the single thing, the primordial source from which all creation ultimately emerges. This single thing is said to be the father and mother of all creation, the spiritual principle that animates life in all its myriad forms. In mystical terms, it has been identified with the universal spirit, the soul of the world, the divine spark that permeates every single atom of the universe. The teaching is crystal clear. If one can truly comprehend this single thing, and consciously reconnect with it, one will be able to understand not only how the universe functions, but also who they truly are. Because, as the tablet powerfully implies, we ourselves are that single thing, expressed in human form. Another incredibly impactful passage states, "Separate the earth from the fire, the subtle from the dense, gently and with great ingenuity." At first glance, this might appear to be a literal, alchemical instruction for the laboratory, but on the spiritual plane, it is an undeniable, clear guide for deep inner work. It is a profound call to discern between the superficial and the essential, between the fleeting illusions of the world and the eternal truths of the soul. It speaks to the absolute necessity of purifying oneself, of refining one's perception, of learning to perceive with the eyes of the spirit. This is a delicate process that demands immense sensitivity, profound wisdom, and unwavering dedication. This process is far from easy. It is a path that demands immense courage, honest self-absorption. The spiritual journey described by the tablet is not a simple ladder ascending directly to heaven, but rather a spiral that first descends into the deepest reaches of the self. It invites us to look deeply within ourselves, to bravely confront our shadows, to pass through the darkness of the ego in order to emerge with a brilliant new light. In psychological terms, this profound process perfectly mirrors what Carl Jung termed the integration of the shadow. That one of the most profound teachings offered by the Emerald Tablet is that of balance. Just as the alchemists meticulously had to balance the elements in their air, fire, and water, the spiritual seeker must learn to harmoniously balance body, mind, and spirit. There is no true ascension without deep grounding. There is no genuine enlightenment without first having traversed and embraced the darkness. The tablet does not promote escapism or the denial of the physical world. On the contrary, it emphatically asks us to be fully present in this tangible reality, while simultaneously remembering and honoring our divine origin. It powerfully tells us that divinity is not located in some distant, abstract heaven, but rather right here, in the everyday, in the tangible, within matter itself. This profound idea is beautifully expressed in the phrase, "Its strength is complete if it is turned into earth." It serves as a potent reminder that divine power is not something abstract or inaccessible. It resides in the concrete, in the real, in every single moment of life. The sacred is not somewhere else. It is right here, right now, waiting patiently to be recognized and embraced. This deeply revolutionary message challenges the common belief that the spiritual is somehow separate from the mundane. The tablet adamantly insists, there is no separation. All is one. For the mystic, the tablet transforms into much more than an ancient document. It becomes a living teacher that continuously reveals new layers of understanding with each reading, depending entirely on the reader's current level of consciousness and spiritual development. To the beginner, it might seem simply like a mysterious alchemical text, but for the awakened soul, it is a profound revelation, a direct manifestation of divine intelligence, an echoing whisper of eternal wisdom that calls us to remember what we have always inherently been. Thus, the Emerald Tablet continues to guide, not through rigid dogmas or doctrines, but through potent symbols and deep inner resonance. It speaks the language of the solar language that cannot be merely translated, but must be directly experienced and felt. And those who walk this sacred path, who study the tablet not only with their intellect but with their heart, discover that its message is not bound by the past. It is vibrantly alive, pulsating, just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. The tablet powerfully reminds us that the universe is not a prison of cold, inert matter, but a temple of luminous light, that we are not lost, but rather perfectly on our path, that true knowledge does not consist of accumulating mere information, but of a profound inner awakening, and that deep within us, in the sacred silence, burns the very same spark that ignited the stars themselves. For the Emerald Tablet is not merely a text, it is a mirror, and if one gazes deeply enough into that mirror, they will begin to perceive something truly extraordinary. Not only the timeless wisdom of the ancients, but their own true self-reflected, their luminous, sacred, eternal, and filled with a gold that has always been waiting within. Your next step on the journey, in an era where science and materialism often overshadow the profound mystery, where the soul sometimes feels relegated to a forgotten corner, the Emerald Tablet continues to shine, quietly yet powerfully. Its wisdom has not lost its relevance. In fact, one could argue that, today, it is more necessary than ever. For beneath its ancient, symbolic language lies a profound message of unity, transformation, and awakening that speaks directly to the spiritual longing inherent. In our modern times, we live in an age often marked by an inner emptiness disguised as progress. We advance at lightning speed technologically, yet sometimes we regress in wisdom. We surround ourselves with countless objects, but often lack a profound sense of purpose. And it is amidst this pervasive noise that the Emerald Tablet whispers a deep truth. We are not separate from the universe. We are not insignificant cogs in a meaningless machine, but active participants in a living, sacred creation. Each one of us is a perfect reflection of the whole. The fundamental principles of Hermeticism, such as the law of correspondence, polarity, vibration, rhythm, cause and effect, and complementary duality, are not mere esoteric ideas. They are profound patterns that we can observe in ourselves, in our relationships, in nature, and throughout the entire universe. The tablet doesn't just tell us how the universe operates, it invites us to live in profound harmony with it. In modern psychology, particularly within the insightful work of Carl Jung, the tablet and the entire Hermetic tradition find new, profound meaning. Jung viewed alchemy as a symbolic representation of the intricate processes of the unconscious mind. He believed that the ancient alchemists, in discussing the purification of lead and the creation of the philosopher's stone, were, perhaps unknowingly, describing the process of individuation, that deep and transformative path where the human being bravely confronts their shadow, integrates their inner polarities, and ultimately achieves the totality of self. For Jung, the tablet was not an archaic superstition, but a vital map of the psyche. From this perspective, the Emerald Tablet transforms into an invaluable tool for the modern seeker, the therapist, the philosopher, or anyone deeply committed to their spiritual development. It is not a text to be memorized, but a profound invitation to delve deep within oneself, to question, to awaken, to ignite that innate spark. Remarkably, even some of today's most advanced scientific theories, such as quantum physics and cutting-edge studies on consciousness, are beginning to resonate with ideas present in the tablet for millennia. The intricate interconnectedness of all things, the crucial role of the observer in shaping reality, the profound influence of consciousness over matter. While modern science may not use mystical language, it is gradually drawing closer to the same essential conclusion, that consciousness is not a mere byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental force of the universe itself, a truth the Emerald Tablet proclaimed centuries ago. But the true power of the tablet lies not in theory, but in practice. For when you begin to live in alignment with its wisdom, your very perception of the world begins to shift dramatically. the mundane becomes sacred. Synchronicities begin to multiply around you. You discover profound patterns where you once perceived only chaos. What once seemed disconnected now reveals itself as a perfect cosmic dance. Life ceases to be a burden and transforms into a constant, enriching opportunity to learn, to heal, and to evolve. The tablet also gently reminds us that transformation is not a static destination, but an ongoing process. That it's not about escaping the world, but about redeeming it from within. Every challenge encountered becomes an opportunity to refine the soul. Every wound transforms into a gateway to deeper compassion. Every conflict morphs into a lesson in profound integration. This is the true meaning of the alchemical great work: to transmute fear into love, ignorance into wisdom, and division into unity. And in this profound process, humility is absolutely essential. The more you study the tablet, the more you truly comprehend how little you thought you knew. Its words possess multiple, intricate levels of interpretation. A single phrase can reveal something distinct to you each time you read it, depending on the specific moment of your life and your current state of consciousness. This, indeed, is one of the hallmarks of a truly sacred text. It doesn't just inform you, it profoundly transforms you. This profound transformation is the greatest gift the Emerald Tablet can offer you. In a world that constantly tells you that you are not enough, that you must compete, consume, rush, and win, the tablet softly reminds you that you are already whole, that everything you truly need resides within you, that there is no separation between you and the divine, that you yourself are the alchemist, the laboratory, the fire, the metal, and the ultimate gold. In a fragmented world, often divided by conflicting ideologies, beliefs, cultures, and borders, the tablet offers a profoundly unifying vision. It tells us that we all share the same origin, the same divine spark, the same cosmic pulse, that the universe is not a prison of inert matter, but a sacred temple, and that every single human being holds the inherent potential to awaken and fully remember their true divine nature. And perhaps this is the most powerful teaching of all. The Emerald Tablet is not a lost text waiting to be discovered in some ancient temple or archaeological excavation. It is alive within you. It is that inner voice that whispers to you in moments of profound silence. It is that undeniable feeling of connection when you gaze up at the starry night sky. It is that deep impulse that calls you to seek something more profound, something real, something eternal. Because the greatest act of alchemy is not external, it is internal. It is the profound work of transforming the fragmented self into a radiant, whole soul. It is gazing into the tablet and realizing that it has always been a mirror, and that in that mirror, if you look with genuine attention and an open heart, you will see reflected your true self, luminous, sacred, eternal, and brimming with the gold that has always been patiently waiting for you. Ready to deepen your understanding? If this journey through the Emerald Tablet has ignited a spark within your soul and awakened your curiosity for more ancient wisdom, there's a special place for you right here. Share your insights in the comments below. Which phrase or concept from the Emerald Tablet resonates most with your own spiritual journey, or with the challenges and beauty of the world we live in today? We'd love to hear your unique perspective and build this wisdom together. If this message touched your heart and you feel its value, please consider giving this video a like. Your engagement helps us reach even more seekers with these seeds of profound wisdom. And if you wish to continue exploring the mysteries of the universe, diving into transformative and insightful content, we warmly invite you to subscribe to the Seeds of Akasha channel. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be among the first to know whenever a new seed of wisdom is planted. Your presence makes all the difference in our growing community. Let's continue to grow and uncover these truths together.